Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and as you can see we have something cool going on here, but first you guys can see that 9000 and 9069 are back together, looking better than ever. We've got the painted wheels on there, we got the sound and DCC into that one. They run awesome together, not too much fighting between the two units. But yeah, so we got those wrapped up. Just wanted to show you guys that everything is back together and they are alive and well, sitting with everything else. I kind of have everything kind of spread out here for some pictures that I was taking. But what I have going on now is a project that I kind of want to revisit, and it is my UP 3593, the Desert Storm, or the Desert Victory. It's got the name placards on it. I don't know if... Oh, yeah, you actually can read those pretty good. Wasn't too sure if my focus was going to work on that. But this is the Desert Victory unit, and what I'm trying to do is upgrade it. Of course, you guys know I love the special painted locomotives, especially the ones that honor veterans, and this is definitely no exception. Now, yes, modern day, this unit no longer exists on the UP roster. It was sold quite a while back, and I can't remember what railroad it's under now, or it was either under a railroad or a leasing company. I can't remember offhand. But this locomotive doesn't even retain its original number anymore. And even shortly after, UP had repainted this unit. But I've done a couple updates to this unit because this is an older RTR. It is not the newer version. There is a newer version of this that I do want to get sometime. That already comes with DCC and sound and working ditch lights and all that cool stuff. But for now we're making this one work, but you guys can see it is the older... I think this is like the first release that they did of this unit in the RTR. And so it's older. I do have a newer blue box style motor. I really wanted to put a Genesis motor in here, but the frame just does not allow for that. I would really have to hog out some of this inner part, and I don't feel like doing that. So hopefully this motor will be alright. This is an upgraded motor from what it originally came with. A little bit newer. It runs super smooth. I've been doing a couple things. I upgraded the worm gears. I did have some red plastic ones in there. Those are upgraded to metal worm gears in there now. And then the big thing is we're putting Tsunami 2. I have this Tsunami 2 Athearn panel here. So I'm going to attempt at putting that in there. Hopefully the motor runs all right with it. I do have to solder a wire to this this top clamp here for the pickup. I already have a wire soldered to the lower pickup on the bottom side of the motor. So I just have to get one on the top side, so that way I will have wires that I can put to the motor positive and negative there, the M negative, motor positive. And then I have a nice little square speaker box. This is a newer style. I got to figure out how that's going to mount. I might have to lose some weight in this locomotive and take the weight out and attach the speakers right there. Stuff to figure that out yet. This is the panel it originally came with, the older style quick connect, the DCC quick plug equipped. So this panel also attached to the top of the motor itself. So we're getting rid of that. And then of course, with this being a newer style blue panel, I have to also do LED upgrades. I do have the LEDs for this. I needed the longer ones for the headlights in the front, and then the shorter ones for the headlights in the back. So I have those. One thing I did with this unit, I used lenses just for the ditch lights on the front. I could, at the moment I don't have LEDs for ditch lights, so even if I wanted to make these working ditch lights, drill them out, I don't really have the LEDs for that right now. But I did add those a long time ago. Also, I do not believe this unit came with MU cables and air hoses, or air hoses. So I put the air hoses on. It did not have any MU receptacle, so I put the tall style MU receptacle on the front and the rear. You guys can see there, front and rear. I also put extra coupler knuckles on the back of the unit. This might have I think this did come with the MU hoses, but it didn't come with the actual air hose, the main air hose. So I put that on there. It did not come with windshield wipers. Now, I had originally had crappy, not really crappy, they were pretty nice quality, plastic ones that I had painted silver and drilled holes and glued those on. Well, I decided to remove those and put on the metal windshield wipers on the front windows and on the back windows. So those are the nice, more modern Athearn metal ones. This unit originally did not come with the little wind deflector and mirrors on the back sides of the windows, but the holes were there. So I ended up digging through my stock for a couple of those and putting those on. That's something that I recently did. Now, what I did a long time ago was I put a air conditioner and PTC, paint matched them the best I could to the darker brown of this the scheme. So I already have a couple modern day updates on there. So I really want this unit to run. And like I said, eventually I would like to track down, I know they have a newer release of this with more detail, better detail. I've added a couple things, like there's a filter on the bottom of the frame right there that I glued into place, and then a couple little things on the frame. It's got kind of an updated filter there. Painted the interior of the bell, and then did a upgraded, separately painted speed recorder on the front. So I've done a little bit of work to this over the years, but I really want this to run with some of my more modern equipment. Like, I would love to have this run with 1943, the Spirit of Union Pacific. That would be cool to have two kind of veterans units running together. And it would be cool to even lead one of my UP passenger trains with this unit. I think that would look pretty cool. Or just run it with a normal freight with some of these SD70s or SD70Ms that have the Tsunami 2 in them. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to mount this, probably use some double-sided sticky tape or a piece of foam rubber to insulate the panel from the motor, because I do not want any of those resistors coming in contact with that pickup, because that'll just fry the panel. I'm hoping the motor runs at a decent speed. If the motor does not run well with the panel, I will have to try to figure out a way to modify the frame and get the more modern day Genesis motor to sit down in there. But we're going to try it with this older motor first, and then hopefully it'll all work out. So it's not a difficult project. The really nice thing on this one is it was new enough to have the spots for the individual wires on the trucks, so it's not just old style pickup plates. This is like the first rendition outside of that. These actually have the clamps on them. I think I am going to solder the wires to these points, and I will have to use longer lead wires in the front, because as I've talked about before, these newer panels, all the track power goes to the back, the left rear and right rear tabs on there. And then these were the original wires that were on these trucks. So I think the back ones will be long enough, but the front ones I'm definitely going to have to cut some longer wires for that. But yeah, I'm excited to get this unit up and going. Hopefully it works out to where I can just use this motor, because it's going to turn into a lot more in-depth if I have to try to fit a Genesis motor in there. I could just find a lot of people will typically just take a can motor and kind of do some soft compound down in the bottom and kind of seat it down in there and get it just right in the compound. Will heal up and hold the motor and stuff like that. I really don't want to do it like that. I want it to where I can have a replaceable motor. And so, like I said, we're just going to try that one. This is a newer style kind of blue box motor. It's got the relieves cut in the counterweights for going back and adding the goop they use to try to balance it out a little bit better. And it's a good running motor. I've tested this motor, and it runs really smooth. It runs at a pretty decent speed. So hopefully the panel and the motor like each other, and I don't kill the panel with that motor. It shouldn't. But I guess we'll find out. So that's it for this update, guys. Just wanted to show you that I had 9000 and 9069 back together. Those are working good. And then now we got this one going. So hopefully in the next video, this will be back together and it will be running. And then I can show you guys that. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. And until next time, take care.